So today, on This Is The Way Las Vegas, we are going to have a bake-off. That's right. I've been making bread for a while now. I really haven't made a lot of videos about it. But I'm in these Facebook groups, right? One called The Bread Whisperer in particular. And they keep talking about this Japanese flour. So I went on Amazon and I acquired 1 kilogram of Japanese flour. Now this is from Japan. Everything's in Japanese. It took 2 weeks to get it. It's supposed to be like non-GMO and all whatever. It's supposed to be really good and it's supposed to be different. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna bake 2 loaves of bread. One using the Japanese flour and one using just my standard generic all-purpose white bleached flour, which makes really good bread already. A lot of my friends have had it. I think some of you guys watching this have had it. And I'm gonna make both loaves with the exact same ingredients except for the difference in the flour, which will be 2.5 cups of flour, the white flour and the Japanese flour, 1 teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1.25 cups of purified water out of my refrigerator. I'm gonna make them at the same time, side by side. I'm gonna, when I pull and tuck and fold them, it's gonna be exactly the same, or as close as I can get it on both ways. And then we're gonna bake them, and we're gonna do a taste test later. So I'm curious to see what happens. And by the way, I usually get 20 pounds of all-purpose white flour for about $6 to $7 when I find it on sale. This kilogram was $15.99 for a kilogram, which is 2.2 pounds, in case you don't know your metric system. And so yeah, I'm excited to try this, and let's get started. I've cleaned my counter and I've sterilized all my utensils. This is the cleanest spot in my entire room, in my entire house right now, because I'm gonna be preparing the bread here on my counter. So like I said, we're doing the exact same for each loaf of bread. So we start with 1.25 cup each of purified water that I let get up to room temperature. Then 1 teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of salt in each. 1 teaspoon of Fleischmann's bread machine instant rise yeast. One. Now, you stir this up and you let it sit for a little while, let the yeast start to activate. All right, so I just measured out, after letting the yeast and the salt and the water activate for a while, I just measured out exactly 2.5 cups of flour is in the red bowl. The American all-purpose bleach flour is in the blue bowl. So far, the only difference I can really see between the two of them, I'll say that the Japanese flour seems a little softer to me. I don't know if that's the right way to describe it. I mean, they're both pretty soft, but it just seems a little more subtle to me. So, let's do this. Red flour, Japanese flour, American flour. What you want to do is give this a quick mix. This is considered a very high hydration dough. It's gonna be very wet. But what you want to do here is give it a quick mix together. Scrape the sides, get it going there, just like that. And I'm also gonna do my best not to get any of the flours mixed together, so we can truly taste what each one has to offer. So the idea is getting this mixed together very quickly. All the flour involved. And you can see how sticky it is, sticking to my spoon, my trusty wooden spoon. I really think I'm gonna have to get another one of these soon. Yeah, I use this thing a lot. But That's looking pretty good so far. You don't really want to finger it up any more than you have to. But yeah, that's a good start right there, just like that. Like I said, it's always going to be really sticky. This is how it is. We'll do the Japanese flour. Again, right off the bat, I can feel that it's lighter. I can just feel it. It mixes lighter. What is going to be interesting is the fact that I'm using the exact same water for both and the exact same yeast. I don't know, how this Japanese yeast is going to react. Japanese flour is going to react. So we're going to find out, and that's the whole point of this video. I think you can already tell, I can tell, that it mixed easier than the American flour did. I don't think I did anything different except maybe my spoon was wet. That could actually affect it. That little bit of extra moisture, totally. But yeah, that mixed up real easy and quick. I actually think it's because, like I said, it's lighter in feel. So yeah, that's the two of them right there. And I gotta be really careful not to mix them up. Japanese flour, white American flour. Now, the next step is to cover them both up with some cellophane. And there you go. Now what you do is every 30 minutes, 4 times for the next 2 hours, I'm going to get my hands really wet so I can handle the dough without it sticking to me. And I'm going to pull and fold and pull and fold, like, I don't know, maybe 6 times each. But I'm going to make sure I do exactly the same for both. And we're going to do that for the next 2 hours, every 30 minutes. You hear that noise, boys and girls? That means that it's time to knead the bread. And what I'm going to show you right now is the pull and tuck technique. Both these doughs have been rising for 30 minutes. I think you can already kind of see a little different thing going on right now. This is the Japanese flour. This is the American flour. Now the technique I'm going to do is called pull and fold, and then you spin it. You know what? I'm just going to do it. But both these doughs are very wet, so the trick is to get your hand wet. So it doesn't stick to your hands. And then you fold it, pull on it, fold it, turn the bowl 90 degrees, you pull, they'll stretch out like that, fold it, then you get the next part, nice and stretchy like that, because the idea is that we're getting air into the dough. And it's going to make those nice big air pockets in there for it. And that's actually looking great. We're going to leave that one alone. Come over here to the Japanese one. This is interesting because it totally feels different. Fold. Fold. Stretching out really nice. It's very supple. Supple, is that a word? Supple? It's stretching out really nice. No, I think I did that one 6 times. I'm gonna do this one 6 times. Yeah, this is an interesting little experiment I got going on here because it totally feels different. All right. So that's good enough. Cover them back up with the cellophane. And we're gonna wait another 30 minutes. And we're gonna do the exact same thing. And then you do this, so we're gonna do this 4 times. The thing about making bread is that it's like it's a hurry up and wait type situation. I mean, at least it is for me. That's what I think it's fun. So like, you do it, and it's like kind of like, you know, they get these techniques, and you mix everything. And then you just wait and you chill. You go have a beer, you watch a video, you make a video, you start making dinner, and then you hit the timer. And then you come back and you do it again. So yeah, that was fun. Again, as I think you can see here, they are both definitely behaving differently through the process here. This again being the generic American all-purpose bleached flour, and this being the Japanese flour. We have 43 more seconds until it beeps, but I mean, come on, that's kind of like dumb. Let's just get it on now. I'll show you the, do the same thing as you did before with the tug and pour. And again, you gotta get your hands wet. Another 30 minutes each. So boom, that was our last beat, which means this will be our last tuck and fold. I hope you guys can see, which to me is kind of amazing, how much the dough actually rises from the very beginning when I first did it. They both are rising quite nicely. They both are rising in different ways. But we're going to finish this off and then bake it up. So just like that, both equal pulls and tugs. This will be the last one. In the next, after 30 more minutes, I'm going to put them in each respective pan, and then let them proof. Which is basically just let them rest for another 20 minutes before I bake them. So yeah, that's again, I can't wait to taste these. This is so just kind of exciting. Yay! Well, this is home. This is home just in time before I put the 2 doughs into the respectful pans and then I bake them. So I wanted to ask her because she doesn't know. If she could tell which one is which. We all know which one is which. So babe, you want to take a guess at which one you think is which?
Sure. 1 second.
Cool.
Okay, I think this is the Japan rice, or flour.
Japan rice. She was
Well,
just
just
with the
do
rice.
rice.
Yeah.
So,
Totally.
Japan flour.
You, and that would be correct. And I think what makes it stand out is we already talked about how I felt like it felt softer, and that's weird. It's kind of like, how does a cotton ball feel softer than the feathers, right? And that's kind of like the difference here. But we got 21 seconds left on my last tug and pull. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna transfer the bowls into the pans, and then they have to sit for a little bit, and then we'll do the, then we'll start baking these things. Then we're gonna eat them. This is awesome. Now it's time to put these 2 loaves of bread into the pans, and then we're gonna bake them, and we'll see what's up. So I'm gonna start with the American bread. There you go. Goes in the first pan. My Japanese bread, Japanese flour mixture. All right. Now, we have to let them both sit here for 20 minutes and proof is what it's called. So So we'll sit in the pans and just proof. No more kneading, no more nothing. And then in the meantime, I'm gonna preheat the ovens. And like I said, we're gonna bake them at 450 degrees for 10 minutes. And then another 12 minutes at 400 degrees. So let's see what happens. We're very close to getting ready to do this shit. But check it out. One final thing here. You can see there's a big difference between the two doughs right now. This is the Japanese dough. It's all settled in and it's bubbling and popping all nice. I think it's gonna be nice and airy. This is the American dough, which again, I think is gonna taste great. They're both gonna taste great. It's all airy looking or whatever. But the question of the video is, which is gonna taste better? And you know what's funny? It's not even which is gonna taste better. I was just wondering how different they're gonna taste. To me, that's really the question, is like the big difference between the two. Not even the taste, because they're both gonna be fresh baked white bread. They're both gonna taste pretty good. But it's gonna be the nuances and the difference of the taste. So we are about 45 minutes away from finding that out. So 450 degrees for 10 minutes. But you know what? I actually changed my mind because I'm doing, the recipe calls for that 10 minutes in small loaves. I'm actually doing 2 large loaves. So I'm gonna do 450 degrees for 15 minutes and then back it down to 400 for 20 minutes. So in the oven we go. Right there, there's the American bread, there's the Japanese bread. As you can see, they're very, very similar looking. And some of the differences could actually not be because of the flour, it could be because of my baking technique. I may have handled one a little more than the other, I may not have folded one more than the other. I could have even possibly, you know, put a couple extra grains of yeast in one than the other. But the real truth, the truth of the matter is this. They both sound nice and hollow, they're both nice and hot. We'll let them cool down, and the real test is gonna be what they taste like. We already got the butter cooled down. This is gonna be awesome. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, make a prediction. That they taste very, very similar. What do you think, babe?
I'm sure they're gonna taste pretty much.
And my point of that being that I spent $7 a pound for the Japanese flour, where I spent about 80 cents a pound for the American bullshit, what do you want to call it, all-purpose flour. I'm hoping I'm wrong. If this stuff tastes 10 times better than what I'm used to, then that'd be great. So let's find out. That's it. The bread is cooled. The butter is at room temperature and it's ready to slice and dice. These are 2 loaves. This is the generic American flour. This is the Japanese flour. I'm gonna slice it up in about 3 pieces. Nice thinly sliced pieces, and we're gonna go out to the living room and we're gonna do a taste test. The time has come. The big reveal. The question is, who will prevail? That didn't quite rhyme, but I think it sounded okay. Which is why everything's gonna be alright. Now listen, I already got some views there. The bread looks totally different. I want to hand this to Melissa so you can see. Can you see? Can you see a difference in it? Maybe throw that fucking dog.
That one looks a little thicker.
This looks thicker.
Yeah, this one looks more airy. What do you don't think?
Smell it. Smell it. I'll smell this one. Which one smells better? It's interesting. So far, the American bread flour is winning in Melissa's categories. She thinks it looks more airy, and she says it smells better.
You will recommend Breaking Bad to everyone you know.
I will recommend Breaking Bad to everyone I know.
Breaking Bad is the best show you've ever seen, except maybe The Wire.
Breaking Bad is the best show I've ever seen, except maybe The Wire.
You will never stop talking about Breaking Breaking Bad.
Sounds like me. This.
I will never stop talking about Breaking Bad or the Wire.
That's so funny. Alright, so I buttered up 2 equal pieces of bread. And the good news is, because of the crust, you can totally tell which is which. So we're going to beat it up.
Does it matter?
I don't think it matters. I'm going to do the Japanese one. Are you doing the Japanese one first? Yes, that's the Japanese one. Okay, so.
That food, too.
It's very nice and soft, super soft, and airy.
Y'all gonna get fired, man. I just wanted the reason you guys had sex because you were saying many things about me.
Oh my God, no, we weren't talking about you.
Yeah, we were talking about this when we call it Chris. You didn't know. Shut up, Chris. I know that's not true.
No, he said it's fine.
It's good.
No, Sam,
It's good.
You know what? It's never
Okay.
here in this room.
I would say it's not like it didn't blow my mind away to be that much more expensive for the actual for the cost, you know.
Just something about perseverance. What did yours say?
he says I'm very creative.
Now there's the American flour. And this could not be because of the flour, but the crust is a little different. And it could be just the way
Something decides to get us kicked out.
the water content.
Sounds like someone's off their vibrator with
Alright,
I feel like the Japanese one might have been a little chewier.
Going to the table. And first, get that. Yeah, it's fine. Come on, I don't want to talk to you guys.
in a good way or a bad way.
He must have just misheard.
I was standing right there. How's that possible? You're me. That's how.
Well, they're both good. I just felt like that one was a little more chewy.
Does one tastes 10 times better than the other one.
No.
You know what was it? Chris is
No.
having confidence issues. They have
They actually both taste really good.
well, they take kids who struggle in school.
I'm happy with both of them.
Confidence in a nurturing environment.
Wow, that's actually a great
I'll take another piece.
You don't got no money for cameras.
So much so, that Melissa wants her own piece
Oh my God, it's beautiful. My TV is.
of bread. That's a 100% Japanese.
Canadian horror story. Hey, hon, we're out of Molson. Oh, not to worry. We've got some Labatt's in the garage. And could you get one for the horse? Ooh, babe.
Hey, Chris,
Alright,
the reason
I think
Straight
the
up.
bottom is different.
Selfie again.
It's how
Let's go away.
How?
Yeah.
we wanted to do something special for you.
This is a Hamilton Beach
I don't
window.
know. I feel like something weird about it.
Alright. 100%. It's very good. It's very good. But I don't think it's that much better than my regular stuff.
This one's called Camp Six.
And what I might do in Ford is I'll just start mixing them, like do some of this, some of that.
It's only as fun as you make it. That's how it was in World War II.
But in my opinion, it's
I hope that I have a note from my doctor.
negligible. So in my opinion, I'm gonna say who wins. They both taste the same. One is more expensive than the other. So I'll just go with the cheaper flour. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so fun to try. I'm glad I tried it. So anyways,
Over here.
What do you think?
this is the way you make bread.